Syntax, point of view, language, imagery, tone, and sound. These are the 6 elements that every poet manipulates in order to bring their audience to a desired emotional end. In poetry, we defy grammar rules and alter syntax in order to make meaning. In general, we place the most important word at the end of the line. Consider this poem about my mother's opioid addiction. My mother has relapsed again. Here, the emphasis is on the word again, meaning this isn't the first time. Meaning that my mother has made a game out of restarts and do-overs, and I'm starting to run out of patience. I'm considering editing the line. To relapse again, mother? A variation of the question I asked the night I found the pills. Just 2 halves in a whole, but still too many milligrams for one body to take, hoping that this clarifies for the reader who's been taking care of who after all these years. In a previous draft, I start the poem, I have relapsed again. You know, as a way to shift the point of view, try to see it from her perspective. Try to understand how she can leave me to be raised by my grandmother, how she can prioritize men over me and my siblings, how she can smoke up the money meant for Christmas and school clothes, but even my most imaginative self can't seem to justify her choices. Besides, my mother would never be that literal in her language. She fiends in the figurative, hides behind her metaphors, says no baby. Mama's not high on fentanyl, she just took a swim with the blue dolphin, says that at this big age, she'd rather shack up with hillbilly heroin than be caught dead in bed with a white girl. Now how's that for an image of progress? The same woman who I saw stand in queue at the crack house while her children sat at the bus stop now has a hierarchy of high, prefers what's prescribed over what's merely pushed. That's good for you, mother. See the shift in tone? See, as a child, my mother always taught me that tone can't keep a secret. That it will always tell you what the speaker feels about its subject, and the same is true when we write. You can hear it in the diction. That's why I call you mother. It's formal, yet distant. I left mama in versions of poems where I loved you, mommy in versions of poems where I begged you to love me back, and in those same poems where I found sounds to mimic my weakness, when I wailed, wallowed, and wearied and worried about you, found all of the alliterations and assonance, all just for asking why, mama. Why? Was it for the poems? Since you couldn't be my mother, you decided to be my muse. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's how I'll start the poem.